Everyone. It is time to clear the record on plagiarism. As you know from my syllabus, there's this definition of plagiarism there, and suspected cases I'm obliged to report, and the campus will investigate. They could merit you an F in the class because they will also earn you a 0 on the assignment. Now, plagiarism is either the intentional or unintentional use of the ideas or words of another person, published writing, or of any other information taken from anywhere without properly citing the original source. This includes not properly or fully citing words taken directly or paraphrased from a source, or being given too much assistance with assignments. So be sure to properly cite your work. That's the key. In academia, we're in the business of using other people's ideas. That's perfectly fine. That's what we should be doing. But we need to give them credit for their ideas. And that's what MLA format for this class or APA format for other classes will help you to do. There are some famous cases of where plagiarism has really cost people a lot. And this is in your handout, so you can read through these more particularly. But there have been Pulitzer Prize winners who've had their awards taken back. There are biochemists who have been forced to resign from their jobs. There are musicians who have to pay fines for accidentally plagiarizing somebody else's music. There are people who have to give back degrees, or politicians who have to deny running for whatever presidential or congressional races after having been found to plagiarize. So be careful not to do it. There are major consequences. What follows in the packets are just some examples here of people who have plagiarized. So there's scandals from the New York Times, there's misinformation from reporters. There is one example that is particularly interesting, and this is where somebody was accused of not citing properly. So they took the original source and used it in a way that it wasn't intended, or so that was the allegation. There was a man who was writing his thesis for his PhD, and he was writing about Moby Dick. There was a line in the edition of the book that he was using that called Moby Dick the soiled fish of the sea, or the soiled serpent of the sea. For him, this was really telling. He wrote a whole bunch about Moby Dick being the soiled giant white whale, only to find out that no other edition of the book called him the soiled serpent of the sea. So he, of course, got into trouble with his committee, almost didn't get his PhD. But, however, since he cited correctly, he was able to find the edition of the book that called it the soiled serpent. And so not only did he get his PhD, but he was able to write another book about the importance of edition and citation, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is an example of how correct citation can actually save you, as opposed to, getting you in trouble if you don't. So let me know if you have any questions.